The era of having to know hard HTML and CSS code in order to design a website are over. And thank God for that, because I'm awful at coding. Coding may or may not have been one of the modules that I failed at uni. But anyway, there are now multiple platforms that you can use in order to design a website completely no code. For example, like Webflow, Framer. Luckily for me, there are plenty of platforms that can allow you to make a website without any code needed. Platforms such as Webflow, Wix, Shopify, Framer, there's plenty others as well. I think there's Elementor, stuff like this. The plan is to start a website design agency using one of these no-code platforms. In my particular case, I'm going to be using Framer for my business, and I'll explain later as to why I'm doing that. However, before that, I just want to talk about my first few videos that I've posted on YouTube, and a big thank you to anyone that's actually watched them. I'm coming up to 100 subscribers now, which is just insane, and I just wasn't expecting that at all. And I just wanted to say thank you to everyone that watched the video, commented, and just gave it like general love. It's such a nice thing, and I was really surprised by that, so thank you so much. Okay, so let's get straight into it. So the idea of this video is to basically be very honest with you and just tell you exactly how I'm planning on starting my website design business. So number one is to learn a no-code website builder. So in my case, I only started recently. I started in December 2023, and I had a conversation with a friend that has built websites before, and he basically led me to WordPress or Webflow. Now, WordPress is predominantly a HTML and CSS coding builder, so you kind of need to be a bit of a coding whiz to use WordPress, especially to make a good functioning website. Whereas Webflow is more a what you see is what you get kind of thing. So like a drag and drop. So you could drag in your hero section, you could drag in a testimonial card and stuff like this. So that obviously for me was golden. I was really happy with that. So I did all of the Webflow courses. There's a really good university course on their website called Webflow 101. Got the certificate and everything.
Amazing, incredible, outstanding.
And I was really happy with it. Then I actually started trying to build websites in Webflow, and it kind of quickly humbled me and was like, okay, shit, this is still kind of hard to make. So I looked around and I kind of persevered with Webflow a little bit, but then I also found some YouTube videos of people, and this is like professional web designers, going from Webflow to Framer just because of the fact that they use Figma as their design software, which is kind of like a fancy PowerPoint. You can drag in your circles and stuff and build up your design really quickly in Figma. And then you bring it into Framer, where that's more your web development and adding the interactions, adding in your CSS and all of that kind of fancy stuff. So 2 months in now into me using Framer, I'm loving it. Still obviously really new to it and a bit of a rookie, but I've now made probably 2 or 3 websites, and also including my portfolio website, which leads me quite nicely into the next section. So this section is talking about case studies and portfolios and previous work that you've done, which I think is essential that you have to show customers the kind of work you're capable of. Now, portfolio isn't important. Like, you don't need to have a portfolio to be able to start contacting people. I just have one just because I think it's a nice thing to be able to direct people, say, hi, I have all of this work. This is my website here. Check it out. Let me know what you think. But you could also just have some previous work and just have the links with the websites. Say you've made a website for a candle making company. Just have that URL, and then when you talk to people, you can just send them that link and say, check out, this is something that I've done before. So firstly, this is just a tutorial that I followed online and created a very basic website, and I've just thrown in like my thumbnail there. That took me probably about 20 minutes to make. So you can make some really good looking websites really quite quickly, and that's something that I could use as one of my case studies or whatever on my portfolio website. The next one is literally just a plumber website, which I haven't even touched at the moment. So that's it as a standard, and then you can go in there and personalize it, change the photo, change the colors, change your logo, and that's something that I will do and use for local plumbing companies around me. And then thirdly, this is just a portfolio website that I grabbed online, and I'll go into this one as I'm really happy with the finished product, and I've been going in there and editing it now for about 1 or 2 hours, just to give it my kind of personalized twist to it. So firstly, I'll just go into the preview mode just to show you what it actually acts like. There's links all along here that very quickly bring you to my YouTube channel, my X or whatever. Then as you scroll down, there's kind of like the portfolio bit. So there's kind of like past case studies and whatnot. I haven't actually worked on these yet. I'm yet to change them in the CSS. But then I have put in like coming soon images as well for future projects. Then there's kind of like an about me section. just a little bit of information and makes it a bit more of gives people a more personal insight into what you're like. Then there's this, like my workflow section. Now, I think this looks absolutely awesome, but I did nothing of it. It was completely from the template, but I've just gone in there and changed the logos and whatnot to what I actually use for my workflow. So it's just showing you really that like you can do some really cool stuff with templates, and it looks very impressive, but the hard work's already been done for you and you can just edit it and go from there. So yeah, I just wanted to show you this really, and also just the fact that it's fully responsive as well. So that's something that a lot of websites, especially bog standard ones that have just been whipped up quite quickly, won't be responsive. So that's another thing that you can use as a point of call or a sales point. So a key point to mention, and probably the foundation of what my business is going to be built on, is the fact that I'm targeting local businesses. And with that, local businesses don't want like these crazy 10K projects for a website. They mostly just want a 3 or 4 page website that explains who they are, what they're about, contact info, and any sort of other information that's relevant to their industry. So to do that, you can use templates. Like, templates are your best friend. As long as they're free and you're not stealing off anyone without, buying the property yourself, then go for it. I think initially what I was working myself up about is I was thinking about designing websites for other website designers, and I'm going to get absolutely critiqued and ripped into because I'm not the best. I'm new to it, and they're not going to be like the most incredible websites ever, but I'm not designing a website for Nike, so I don't need to be that good. So really, you need to keep in mind that you're designing websites for the business and the customer. And most people don't know how to make a website. They wouldn't be coming to you and they wouldn't be talking to you if they did. So through that, any sort of good looking template that you've personalized, added some things to it, added some really good imagery, they will be absolutely chuffed with that. Lovely. So that's that really. That's the end of the video. So thanks so much for watching. And if you did make it to this point, you're the coolest person in the world. Please do comment. Please do follow me on all my socials and drop me a message on there. And of course, please do subscribe on YouTube as well. That would be really appreciated. Thanks so much. Take care of yourself. Lots of love.